1976 D. What if I told you that a single 1976 D penny, the same kind you might have tossed into a change jar decades ago, could now be worth thousands of dollars? Imagine holding in your hand not just a coin, but a piece of America's 200-year celebration, a symbol of history, pride, and maybe, unexpected fortune. Because some of these 1976 D Lincoln pennies, quietly minted in Denver, are now shocking collectors with their rarity, hidden minting errors, and the stories they carry through time. Picture this, it's 1976. The United States is alive with celebration, fireworks, parades, and flags waving proudly during the nation's bicentennial year. Amid all that patriotic joy, the Denver Mint was busy striking millions of Lincoln pennies. Most were ordinary. But a small handful came out different. Flaws so rare, they went unnoticed for decades. Some ended up in pockets, others in piggy banks, and a few tucked away in jars on kitchen shelves. Fast forward nearly 50 years, and one lucky collector in Colorado discovered a 1976 D penny with a unique die error, a coin that would later sell for a staggering amount, enough to turn a simple moment of curiosity into a life-changing find. So, what makes these 1976 D pennies so valuable? It's all in the details. During the minting process, certain dies, the metal stamps that imprint the design, were slightly misaligned or doubled. Some coins show faint doubling on the words, "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." Others display a soft blur around Lincoln's profile or the year 1976 itself. These minting variations are incredibly scarce, especially from the Denver Mint, and when found in pristine condition, they can be worth hundreds, even thousands, depending on the error and grade. Collectors and historians alike are now seeking them out, knowing their demand is climbing every year. Many folks had these very coins and never knew. Some gave them to their grandchildren, spent them at the corner store, or rolled them up with spare change decades ago. Each time one left a drawer or coffee can, a small treasure slipped away unnoticed. But for those who look carefully now, opportunity still knocks. The market for rare bicentennial-era coins has exploded, and the 1976 D penny, often overlooked, is now among the most watched by experts and collectors across the country. When you find a 1976 penny, check for that D mint mark just beneath the year. That's the Denver stamp. Hold it under good light, and look closely at Lincoln's features and the lettering. If you notice doubling, raised edges, or any unusual shine or texture, that coin may not be ordinary at all. Even a subtle difference can make a huge impact on its value. If you think you found one, don't guess, get it professionally graded. Trusted organizations like PCGS or NGC can authenticate your coin and reveal its true worth. Many collectors have turned small pocket finds into major profits simply by having their coins verified by experts. So before you pass by that old coffee can, that drawer full of forgotten pennies, take a moment to look closer. Because history isn't always in museums, sometimes, it's sitting quietly in your home, waiting to be rediscovered. That 1976 D Lincoln penny could be more than a memory, it could be your next great treasure. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover the history and value hiding in plain sight. 1978 What if a single penny sitting in your dresser drawer could be worth thousands of dollars today? Imagine holding a piece of American history so rare, so mysterious, that collectors across the country are searching day and night just to find it. I'm talking about the elusive 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that's quietly become one of the most talked about treasures among serious numismatists in recent years. It all began in the late 1970s, when America was going through a time of change, new music, new politics, and new dreams. In the midst of it all, the U.S. Mint released millions of Lincoln pennies. Most bore the familiar D or S mint marks, showing they came from Denver or San Francisco. But then, somehow, a small batch slipped through the presses in Philadelphia, missing their mint marks completely. These unassuming little pennies looked ordinary at first glance, but decades later, collectors began noticing something strange. Some of these no-mint mark 1978 pennies carried sharp, proof-like details and flawless finishes, unlike any other from that year. They weren't just coins, they were silent witnesses of a rare minting anomaly that turned them into treasures. What makes the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so special isn't just its age, it's the mystery of how it was made. Normally, Philadelphia pennies of that era didn't include a mint mark, but a select few of these coins were struck with exceptional precision, almost like test strikes. Some experts believe they were part of limited early runs before die adjustments. Because of their rarity and pristine condition, collectors have been willing to pay astounding prices, in some cases, well into the thousands, for these shining survivors. In auctions, verified examples have fetched record-breaking bids, and demand continues to climb as fewer flawless coins remain in circulation. Many people once held these very pennies in their hands, maybe spent them on a cup of coffee, maybe tossed them in a jar, never realizing their worth. Some stories tell of families discovering a small fortune years later in an old cigar box or change jar after a loved one passed away. That's the heartbreaking truth. Most of these treasures have vanished into circulation, never to be found again. But a few lucky souls, the ones who took a moment to look closer, found something that changed their lives. If you ever come across a 1978 Lincoln penny, hold it up to the light and look closely. It should have no mint mark under the date, just a clean, smooth space. Check the surface. If it shines with a strong copper luster and crisp details, it could be a special strike or proof-like coin. Pay attention to Lincoln's profile, the sharpness of his beard, and the clean lettering on "In God We Trust." These subtle details are what separate an ordinary cent from an extraordinary collectible worth thousands. If you think you might have one, don't guess, get it certified. Send it to trusted graders like PCGS or NGC, who can confirm its authenticity and assign it a professional grade. A coin in high mint state condition can transform from pocket change into a prized collectible overnight. So before you dismiss that old jar of pennies sitting in your kitchen, take another look. That simple coin from your childhood, that tiny piece of copper, might just hold your future. These aren't just coins, they're echoes of America's past, and sometimes, they hold untold value. Keep your eyes open, keep your heart nostalgic, and remember, history often hides in plain sight. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover the rare stories and hidden wealth waiting right in your own home. 1979 What if I told you that a simple 1979 Lincoln penny, the same kind you might have handed over at a gas station decades ago, could now be worth a small fortune? Imagine that. A coin so ordinary, so familiar, that most people never gave it a second thought, yet today, collectors are hunting for it with feverish demand. And the best part? One of those rare treasures could still be sitting quietly in your change jar right now. Back in 1979, America was a nation of change. Inflation was high, the dollar was struggling, and people were holding on to every cent they had. The Denver Mint was busy striking millions of Lincoln pennies that year, coins carrying the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln on one side, and the proud Monticello Memorial on the other. But among the ordinary, a few extraordinary pieces slipped through. Whether it was a rare die variation, a minting flaw, or a small but meaningful difference in the strike, these 1979 pennies became silent witnesses to history, and some of them, over time, grew into genuine collector legends. There's a story of one retired man from Colorado who found one tucked away in a dusty coin roll from the bank. He'd been a casual hobbyist his whole life, never expecting much. But that single penny, small, unassuming, and perfectly preserved, ended up being appraised for thousands. It was a reminder that even the most common-looking things can hold uncommon value, if you know where to look. So, what makes the 1979 Lincoln penny so special? It's all in the details. Certain coins from the Denver Mint were struck with slight variations, some featuring doubling on the lettering, some with off-center designs, and others showcasing crisp, deep strikes that reveal superior craftsmanship. Collectors prize these coins for their scarcity, especially in high mint state condition. A flawless 1979 graded by professional services, can fetch incredible prices today, particularly if it's a rare die variety or boasts pristine red luster untouched by time. Countless Americans once had these rare pennies pass right through their fingers. Some gave them away as pocket change, others tossed them into penny jars or donated them without realizing their worth. Imagine holding a piece of history that could have changed your story, only to let it slip away unnoticed. Every day, more of these coins are lost forever, melted down, or damaged beyond recovery. That's why collectors are paying top dollar right now to secure the few that remain in mint condition. If you come across a 1979 penny, look closely. The mint mark D under the date should be clear and well defined, struck just beneath Lincoln's portrait. The color should still carry that bright red or reddish-brown tone, showing it's been well preserved. Flip it over, the Monticello building should be sharp, with every line distinct and every letter crisp. The difference between a 1-cent coin and a $1,000 treasure often comes down to those tiny details that most people overlook. If you believe you found one of these rare gems, don't leave it to guesswork. Get it verified through trusted grading companies like PCGS or NGC, professionals who can confirm its authenticity and grade. A certified coin doesn't just hold sentimental value, it holds undeniable market power. So before you dismiss that old coffee can full of pennies or the change jar sitting in your kitchen, take a moment. Because within those humble coins might lie a piece of your own past, and maybe even your future. The 1979 D Lincoln penny isn't just a coin, it's a story of hidden worth, American history, and the quiet magic of discovery. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover the history, mystery, and fortune hiding in plain sight. Your next great find might just be waiting in the palm of your hand. 1980. What if I told you that a single penny from 1980, the same kind you might have spent on bubble gum or dropped in a change jar decades ago, could now be worth thousands of dollars? Yes, a simple copper penny, quietly sitting in your drawer for over 40 years, could be a hidden piece of American history and a collector's dream. This isn't just any penny, it's the 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny, and it's taking the numismatic world by storm. Picture this: a retired gentleman in Ohio, sorting through an old coffee can of coins he'd been saving since his teenage years. Among hundreds of ordinary cents, one coin caught his eye. It looked just a little different. No D, no S, no mint mark at all. Curious, he took it to a local dealer, who paused, squinted, and smiled. That unassuming little penny, untouched for decades, turned out to be a rare no-mint mark 1980 Lincoln penny, a coin struck in Philadelphia during a transitional minting period that resulted in limited runs without the identifying mark. Overnight, that penny went from pocket change to a prized collectible worth thousands. So what makes this coin so special? The 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln penny was part of a fascinating time in U.S. minting history. While most pennies from that era bore the familiar D for Denver or S for San Francisco, the Philadelphia Mint, experimenting with new die preparation techniques, produced a small batch without any mint marks at all. These coins, featuring the beloved portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the stately Monticello-inspired Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, have become highly sought after due to their rarity, condition, and historical significance. High-grade examples, especially those with sharp strikes and original luster, have fetched impressive sums at auction, sometimes exceeding $5,000 or more. The heartbreaking part? Many of these coins slipped right through people's hands. They were spent at gas stations, tossed in fountains, or given away as spare change, never knowing they held something extraordinary. Imagine holding that penny back in 1980, never realizing it could one day change your financial story. Every year, collectors are stunned to learn how many rare coins were simply lost to time, spent without a second glance. If you have old jars, piggy banks, or boxes filled with pennies, now is the time to look. Focus on 1980 Lincoln pennies that do not have a mint mark below the date. The surface should have its original reddish-brown glow, with clear details of Lincoln's coat, hair, and the words, "In God We Trust," fully visible. Turn it over and admire the Lincoln Memorial design. Any signs of strong strike or unusual texture could make your coin even more valuable. If you think you found one, don't guess, verify. Reach out to trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC. These experts can authenticate your coin and assign it an official grade, which could dramatically increase its value in the collector's market. Even a small difference in grade can mean the difference between a coin worth hundreds and one worth thousands. Think about it, that old jar of coins tucked away in your kitchen cabinet or your childhood dresser might just hold your future. These tiny pieces of metal carry stories, memories, and sometimes, small fortunes. So before you spend or trade them away, take a closer look. Your next great discovery might be hiding in plain sight. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover the history, the mystery, and the hidden wealth waiting right in your hands. 1982. What if I told you that a single penny, a simple, copper-colored coin you might have handed over at a grocery store decades ago, could now be worth thousands of dollars? Imagine, a penny from 1982, one without a mint mark, quietly sitting in your old change jar, carrying the power to change your day, or even your year. The story of the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny begins during a fascinating turning point in American coinage history. It was a year of transition, when the U.S. Mint shifted from the traditional copper pennies to a new zinc-based version. But somewhere in that change, something extraordinary happened. A few pennies were struck without the D mint mark, the small letter that usually told collectors the coin came from Denver. These coins were made in Philadelphia, but here's the twist. The mint mark was supposed to be missing, yet not all no-mint pennies from 1982 are valuable. Only a handful were struck on the wrong metal planchet, giving them a unique composition and an even rarer identity. What makes the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so valuable is the combination of rarity and confusion that surrounded that year. There were 7 different varieties of 1982 pennies: large date, small date, copper, and zinc, and only a few of the no-mint mark versions were accidentally struck in solid copper when they should have been zinc. Those few coins became hidden treasures. Collectors around the world hunt them relentlessly because these pennies bridge 2 eras of U.S. history, the end of true copper coinage and the birth of modern minting. A single verified specimen has sold for more than $15,000, and as time passes, their value continues to rise. Many people have unknowingly spent these rare pennies over the years, tossed them into vending machines, given them as change, or let them slip through their fingers without a second thought. Some of these valuable coins likely ended up mixed in piggy banks or old jars in attics across America. Every time one of these coins surfaces, it's a quiet reminder of how close so many came to discovering a small fortune, and never knew it. If you want to know whether you have one of these remarkable coins, start by finding a 1982 penny with no mint mark beneath the date. Look closely at the size of the numbers. If the date looks slightly thinner and more delicate, you might be holding the small date version, the most valuable of them all. Next, check the weight. A true copper penny from that year will weigh about 3.1 grams, while the newer zinc pennies weigh only 2.5. That small difference could mean the difference between an ordinary cent and a life-changing discovery. To confirm what you found, you can take your penny to a trusted coin dealer or send it to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. They use precise testing and certification to verify authenticity, and once confirmed, your coin could join the exclusive list of known 1982 no-mint mark copper Lincoln pennies that continue to climb in collector demand every year. So tonight, when you open that drawer full of change or dust off that old coin jar from your childhood, take a closer look. History might just be sitting right there, waiting for you to notice it. The 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just a coin, it's a piece of America's past, a bridge between generations, and a reminder that even the smallest things can hold the greatest value. Don't let your hidden treasure go unnoticed. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover the wealth of history hiding in plain sight. 1984. What if I told you that a single penny sitting quietly in your old coin jar, a penny you might have overlooked for decades, could be worth thousands today? Yes, I'm talking about a simple 1984 Lincoln penny, but not just any 1984 penny. This one has no mint mark at all. And that tiny missing letter, that small absence, could mean a massive fortune for the lucky collector who spots it. Picture this, it's 1984. Gas is cheap, music fills the air with the sounds of Springsteen and Journey, and a young man in Illinois pockets his change after buying a cup of coffee, never realizing that one of those pennies was unlike any other. Years later, while sorting through his late father's coin collection, he finds that same 1984 Lincoln penny. But something catches his eye. There's no little letter beneath the date. No D. No S. Nothing. That missing mint mark, as it turns out, wasn't a mistake, it was a golden opportunity. That tiny detail transformed an ordinary cent into a collector's dream, a treasure from the heart of America's minting history. The 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is a coin of mystery and beauty. Normally, pennies from that year should bear the small D for Denver or S for San Francisco, but a small batch left the Philadelphia Mint without any mark at all. This wasn't supposed to happen, yet it did, and those few coins that slipped through have become one of the most talked about modern rarities in the Lincoln penny series. The clean surface, the crisp strike, and that haunting absence of a mint mark, it all adds to its magic. Today, collectors across the nation are willing to pay big money to own one. Too many people have handled one of these rare pennies without ever realizing it. They've spent them on coffee, tossed them in parking meters, or let them roll away into drawers. Imagine the heartbreak of knowing that the penny you gave to your grandchild for luck might have been worth thousands today. Every coin collector's nightmare is missing the treasure hiding in plain sight, and with the 1984 no-mint mark penny, that nightmare has become reality for more than a FEW.SO. Here's what separates this special penny from the rest. When you pick up a 1984 Lincoln cent, take a close look beneath the year. You'll notice most have a small mint mark, a D, or sometimes an S. But if you find one without any letter at all, and it's not faded or worn down, you may have something extraordinary. The portrait of Lincoln should be sharp and detailed, the date clear, and the surface smooth. If all those details check out, you might just be holding a piece of numismatic history in your palm. To confirm if your coin is truly one of the rare 1984 no-mint mark varieties, send it to a trusted professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts can verify its authenticity and condition, and if it's the real deal, they'll certify it, instantly increasing its value. Many coin shops across the US can also help you take that first step, so don't wait, think about it. That small jar of coins in your kitchen, the one collecting dust on a shelf, it could hold something life-changing. Every coin has a story, and every collector knows the thrill of uncovering history where others saw only spare change. So take a second look at your pennies, your future might just be hiding among them. And if you love stories like this one, subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you find history hiding in plain sight. Because sometimes, the smallest coin can lead to the biggest discovery of your life. 2009. What if I told you that a single penny, a small copper coin from 2009 that most people overlooked, is now one of the most sought-after modern treasures in America? Yes, you heard that right. The 2009 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas Lincoln penny, a coin that many folks spent without a second thought, could now be worth hundreds, even thousands, of dollars to collectors who know what to look for. Imagine that, a coin minted during your lifetime, quietly sitting in a drawer or coffee can, now turning heads across the rare coin market. Let me take you back to 2009, a year that marked the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. To celebrate, the U.S. Mint released a special set of 4 designs honoring different chapters of Lincoln's life, from his humble Kentucky cabin to his years as a statesman in Washington, D.C. But among these designs, something unusual happened with the formative years and presidency editions. Some coins left the mint with no mint mark at all, an unexpected twist that turned a simple penny into a collectible gem. One man in Ohio, sorting through his old change for fun, spotted a Lincoln penny missing its mint mark. He thought it was nothing, until he had it appraised and discovered he was holding a coin valued at several $1,000s. His simple curiosity turned into a small fortune. So, what makes this coin so special? The 2009 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas Lincoln penny is part of a rare batch struck in Philadelphia without the usual identifying mark. While most 2009 Lincoln pennies carry either a D or an S, this one bears no mint mark, a subtle detail that separates an ordinary coin from a rare treasure. Combine that with the unique design honoring Lincoln's later years at Monticello, and you have a coin that collectors across the country are hunting for. Clean strikes, uncirculated condition, and crisp details can push the value dramatically higher, with some pristine examples commanding thousands in private sales and auctions. Too many times, I've heard stories that start with, "I used to have one of those," or "I think I spent it without realizing." People who unknowingly traded history for a cup of coffee, only to find out later that the coin they once held is now listed among the rarest modern pennies. The truth is, opportunities like this don't come twice. Every day, someone new discovers what they lost, and wishes they had looked closer. So, if you've got a jar of change tucked away in the kitchen, it's time to take another look. Focus on your 2009 pennies, especially the ones showing Lincoln standing in front of the U.S. Capitol or seated inside Monticello. Flip them over and check carefully for the absence of a mint mark beneath the date. No D, no S, just the clean, simple, 2009. If it's sharp, uncirculated, and gleaming red in tone, you may just be looking at a collector's dream. Once you've found one, don't guess its value, prove it. Send it to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, or visit a trusted coin dealer. They can confirm its authenticity, grade its condition, and help you understand what the market might pay. That jar of pennies sitting in your home might not just be spare change, it could be your piece of American history, quietly waiting to be rediscovered. Each coin tells a story, and this one tells a story of legacy, luck, and the beauty of paying attention to the small things in life. So, before you cash in that old change, take one more look. You might just uncover a treasure worth far more than its face value. And remember, subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you find history hiding in plain sight.